Is it okay to keep talking about the person who died?
I think it's good because it keeps their memory fresh in your mind and reassures you that you remember them forever. Yes, as that person could have meant a lot to you, which will lead you to always have something nice to say about them, and important relationships will never die if they generally meant a lot towards you.
I would say yes, but also again, like be receptive. If your kid feels like overwhelmed that all of this is happening, say like, okay, like we can stop talking about it, but just know that if you want to talk about it, I'm here and that you have resources and different things like that. But also like I think putting up like a mask and like a happy face in front of your child, like they're gonna pick up on it. So just say like, even if you don't want to talk about your uncle today, I'm thinking about my brother and it makes me sad, but I will, handle that on my own. If you don't feel like talking about it, just know that if you do, I'm here.
Talk about them as much as possible because there's like obviously this person is gonna have had a massive impact in your life, and especially if you've got like young children, when they grow up, they're probably not gonna, if the parent died when they were really young, they're probably not gonna remember them a lot. So if you implant memories in their head when they're young, it's gonna help them like rejig those memories when they're older, which is the most important thing. So
yeah, what do you say is probably like good for strengthening the relationship between the lived ones too?
Yeah, definitely. Because when obviously if a family dynamic shifts and one person is gone, it's weird. Like, I found myself having conversations with my dad, which I would always used to have with my mum. So there's definitely a big shift, no matter how close you are. So I think the fact that we could kind of bond on talking about my mum together was very useful. So yeah, just speak about the person as much as possible is what I would say.
Is it okay to talk about the person who's passed?
Yes, yeah. I think it honors them and it helps people move on.
Absolutely. I think it's a necessity. I think that if you don't talk about that person, especially with younger kids, they can feel kind of like a shame for bringing it up. I even talked about that with my experience with my dad. I was I was a teenager and I was nervous to bring it up sometimes. So I think that talking about it is very important so that kids feel okay to talk about it, because for a lot of kids, talking about it is what helps. And so I think it's really important to talk about it. I think it's really important to bring it up when necessary. I think you just need to read the kid. So if it's a close family member and the kid is struggling with it every single day, then yeah, you might need to talk about it every single day. But if it is someone that's not as close, or you're later in the grief process and the kid isn't thinking about it every day, I don't necessarily think you need to talk about it every day. It's very situational, but I think that it is important to talk about it.
Sometimes, because you can be talking about them in a good way and a bad way. So, yeah.
So when it's a good way, what's good about that?
Like, how funny they were, or like nice.
So keeping their positive memories going.
Yeah.
Yeah?